Welcome back to the Midnight Who Show. And when I was in Gallifrey 1 last month, one of the really exciting things that they showed was the War Games in color. So tonight I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on what I think of this brand new colorization. Now, I am a huge fan of the War Games. It is one of my favorite classic Doctor Who stories. And I was very hesitant about this one. I wasn't really sure. I was thinking the colorization might be fine, but I wasn't really sure on how they can trim a 10-part, 5-hour Doctor Who story into a mere 90 minutes. But I will say, after I watched it at Gallifrey 1, I was really impressed. Huge step up from the Daleks in color, and at times, I was even shocked that this was originating from a black and white story of Doctor Who. It was really well done. The team on this one did a fantastic job. Now, I will say I still have a few problems with this colorization. And one of them is very similar to the Daleks in color, and that is the music. While I do think it's a little less bombastic in this one, it still becomes a little overpowering at times and doesn't really feel authentic to 1960s Doctor Who. Especially the biggest example is, of course, they tease that, the war chief is like the master with the music beats. I'm indifferent on that one. It doesn't really bother me, but it's just kind of like they're a little nodding at it. It's a funny little theory, but I don't really view it as, true canon, if that makes sense. Problem is the edit, but I do think it's slightly better than the Daleks in color. I think the story flows a bit better. I can tell where missing parts are, but I don't think it impacts the story that much. And I will say 90 minutes, it could have been a little bit longer. I think there could have been some scenes they could have added that would have really helped it. But I will say, maybe for the next colorization, I'm hoping that they do maybe a 4-part story that they can kind of trim down a bit to 65 to 70 minutes and make a more cohesive story and not have to really chop it up. But I will say, I think that this colorization of the War Games will get a lot more people to watch this story, which I think is a good thing. The War Games is a really great story, but I know for a lot of people, 10 parts can kind of just turn them away and they don't want to watch it. So I think this colorization will do its job and actually make people want to watch it. And that's the most important thing. And lastly, I want to talk about the newest addition to this colorization, and that is the Second Doctor to Third Doctor regeneration. I think it's a really cool addition. I do like that they picked a YouTuber to, help them out. I think that's really great that they're embracing the Doctor Who YouTube community. That is awesome. I will say they did a pretty good job at trying to make it feel sort of, from that time period. But I still feel it's sort of out of place, but still, it's a nice addition. I don't really know what to overall think about it. I think it's just cool that they added it and expanded upon just the end of the War Games. Overall, the War Games in color is a really amazing effort. I think they did a great job with it. I was shocked at times that this was a black and white Doctor Who story, and I've seen it multiple times. And honestly, if this is the sign of what is to come with colorizations, I'm a bit more excited. But yeah, I think it will serve its job to get a lot more people to watch the War Games, and I think that is the most important thing. What did you all think of the War Games in color? Let me know in the comments below, and if you want to see my review of the War Games, which I did with my friend Steven years ago at this point, I'll put that in the description. See you all in the next video. Bye, everyone.